Howdy, welcome to Unicorn Mom 411. I'm Betsy, and I'm here to discuss about all the fun stuffs. I know it's been a couple days, and I apologize. My last thoughts for y'all were that I'm here to be a vessel, and that I'm here to share my experiences, and so that's what I intend to do. And today it's going to be kind of a little different. Yes, I did go to the doctor. Yes, my son did go to the doctor. My doctor is extremely impressed with how I'm taking care of myself and how far I've come in less than 2 weeks, and is ready to do my torso, as well as possibly move into my arms. But what we're waiting on is going to be getting this area right here checked out, to see, because if the tissue in my arms are causing this, then we might have to do something different. I'm not sure. They might want to do it sooner. But the next area, he said, is my torso and my arms, to try to rid the excessive tissue there. So that's a good thing. My son, we went to talk to the surgeon about his lymph node, and although it is large, he said, he asked us what we wanted to do. And of course, nobody wants to say, oh, well, let's just take it out. Let's do this. Let's do that. So he said, why don't we watch it over the next 30 days or so? He said 3 to 4 weeks. But my son graduates next month, or in May. So he said, let's wait till after that, because he didn't want to cause him any excess pain or have any scarring or anything like that, depending on what we have to do. Let's not open up that can of worms until we have to. So we're just going to keep an eye on it, which is a good thing. And then we'll go into that. However, over the last couple of days, I have been dealing with insurance companies. Sad but true. There are a lot of places out there that just cannot, I can't even talk, cannot get past the fact that they treat you like a number. And sadly, that's where it's come to passing the buck, because you just can't even imagine. I've gone from one to another, from one person to another person that send me back to the first person that says, oh no, I'm supposed to be dealing with somebody else entirely. And it's extremely frustrating when I want to work. I want to go back to work. I want to do this. But in today's society, unless you're at 100%, they don't want you back. Well, sad fact is, the position that I entail, I have to be back 100% because they don't have a part-time position. So I'm like, okay, well, then they want me to apply for long-term disability because I more than qualify. However, I don't want to be on disability. I don't want to be checked out for Social Security if I don't have to. I don't want to be labeled, because that's what they do, is they label you. I want the ability to take care of myself, take care of my family and my body, and then be able to go back to work. However, with stipulations, that's not something I can do that easily. Now, what I found out today, well, actually over the last week or so that I've been fighting, well, actually it's longer than that, is that the company that they want me to apply for these benefits from, that I pay for out of my company check, all this time, says, oh, well, you might be part of that pre-existing category. Now, let's just say I was diagnosed in April of last year. He said, well, I can't help the fact that you might not have been treated properly by your doctors or misdiagnosed by your doctors. So we'll have to determine if you're considered pre-existing or not. I said, okay, I'm not supposed to be under any duress. I'm not supposed to be under stress. Send me the paperwork. I'll fill it out. I'll send it over. So he sends me about a 25-page thing to fill out. Well, needless to say, I have 6 now specialists that I'm dealing with. Not just one, not just 2, but 6 that I'm dealing with, okay? it asks for the treating physician to fill out paperwork. So I call back. I can't get a hold of him. So I email him back. I didn't get a response. I wait 24 hours. I email him again. Didn't get a response. Call back. Can't even leave a message because his voicemail's full. Deal with my HR. My HR says, well, let me try to get a hold of them. So takes 3 days for my HR to call me back and say, I haven't had any luck, but let me get a hold of them. Let's get on the phone with them together. So last Friday, we spent an hour and a half on the phone, talked to 3 different people who in the end said, I'll have somebody call you. Today is Thursday. I have yet to hear anything back. So yesterday, I called my HR person and said, I haven't heard from you, left a voicemail. And I was supposed to hear from them on Monday because they were supposed to hear back. Well, when they can't hear back from somebody, then they don't call me back. So, long story short, today I got extremely frustrated because I have no answers. I have no means of income because they're going to put me on the back burner because, first of all, they want to take 6 weeks possibly to investigate to see if I even qualify because I may be pre-existing according to their standards. Well, that's where I don't seem to get it, is there's not a standards. There is a guy on the other end of the phone that does not know me from Adam that is going to declare that I have a pre-existing concern or not. No, especially one that can't even respond to an email or a telephone call. So I've been a little bit frustrated, if you can't imagine. To the point where I was bawling my head off for the last 2 days, and so that's why I did not come on yesterday, is because I didn't feel like I needed to provide any type of negative energy, because the last thing I want to do is make anybody else feel as bad as I did. Now, needless to say, I do pull my bootstraps up and put my big girl panties on, and I get through the day. However, it's those moments where you feel so weak and you feel so frustrated that you don't want the world to see you. And I think that's probably when I need to get on here more, is when I'm frustrated. And so tonight, I, been sitting here thinking, trying to figure out what I was going to say and what I would do. And honestly, it's just come on here and be honest. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because there are so many things that are wrong in this world. There's so much red tape. There's so much, restrictions on people that are trying to do the best thing for themselves and for their families and for their health. And then they're being cut at the knees, basically, for trying to do the right thing. See, my dogs are over here growling, agreeing. Anyway, it's a sad fact when people who don't want to do something about their health or don't work and get the benefits that others don't, not that there's anything wrong with that, but the fact is I paid for this insurance all this time expecting that if I needed it, it'd be there for me. And it failed me, and it's failing me now, and it'll probably fail me, but I'm not going to let it get to me. I may have to find another position. Sadly, I may have to look for work elsewhere, which is a sad shame, but I don't feel like I am being treated like I'm worthy. And when it comes down to it, feeling like you're important matters. Feeling like you are of significance matters. That's not just to a job, but to people. And the last thing I want to do is to deal with anybody who does not think that I am worthy of their time, their influence, their information, anything. So remember, every day you're going to run in with people that do not seem to care, and then you're going to run into people that care so much. Remember who is there for you. Be there for other people, because you don't know what they're going through. There's a lot of things in this world I wish I could change. There's a lot of people that I wish I could reach out to and get them to understand things, but you can only do what you can do. On top of everything else, of health and family and all that kind of stuff, there's all this other stuff going on in the world. But imagine if we just reached out to each other and treated each other with respect and dignity and warmth and compassion. The difference it would be. So I'm going to leave you with this. Like I said, everybody that you run into has something going on. Remember that just because you're having a bad day does not mean that they're not going through something too. So treat them with utmost respect and compassion, like you would want. Because you're going to want that in return. Maybe not from them, but from somebody else, you definitely will. Let's change the world together. Let's make it a better place. Love one another. Because in the end, that's all we've got is each other. So, breathe and love yourself and love everyone around you. Till next time, love ya. Bye.